You're in my mind, I'ma be okay. A little love goes a long way. So I'm going within today. I'm going within today. You're in my mind, I'ma be okay. A little love goes a long way. So I'm going within today.
Why healing feels lonely. Growth often separates you from the version of life that once kept you comfortable. Greetings, my lovely inner workers. You're listening to the Going Within podcast with me, your host, Sheena C. This is a space for self awareness, healing, and learning to actually trust your own inner voice, and also to connect with your inner being, your inner self, your real self, that you may become the powerful being that you were always destined to be. Today, I want to talk about something that people rarely discuss honestly when it comes to healing: the loneliness of it. Because healing is beautiful. It's very beautiful, yes. It's very transformative. And it's also very necessarily, absolutely. But lonely, it's very lonely. And I think a lot of people feel ashamed of, admitting that, because social media, it's something that romanticizes healing, constantly. You see the quotes, you see the aesthetic morning routines, the spiritual affirmations, the quote unquote protect your peace posts. But what people don't always show is the dark side of it: the grief, the confusion, the identity shifts, and the emotional isolation that can happen when you start evolving internally. Healing is something that changes you, right? And when you begin to change deeply, your relationships, your habits, your conversations, the things that you tolerate, and even your desires begin to change as well. And then suddenly, yes, suddenly, the spaces that once, felt normal, it don't feel aligned anymore. Okay? The conversations that once entertained you, it now feels very shallow, right? The environments that once distracted you now feels overstimulating. And the people who once felt very, very familiar, they now feel very emotionally distant. So that transition can feel incredibly lonely, okay? And you're not alone in this process. Not because you're doing something wrong per se, but because transformation naturally creates separation. That's a thing. And I think people deserve honesty about that. We deserve to be honest with ourselves. Healing is not just becoming, it's also unbecoming. It's not just learning, it's also unlearning things. And unbecoming things like the coping mechanisms, right? The self-abandonment, the performance versions of yourself. Unbecoming the survival patterns you once relied on emotionally. And while that process is liberating, okay, it can also feel like the old life that you had is now dissolving, okay, before your new one is actually fully formed. And so there's an in-between space. And in that in-between space is where the loneliness often lies. So, one of the first places people notice healing becoming lonely is in relationships. And you can think about it for a second, you know, and you too will realize that to be true for you. And here's why: because when you start healing, your standards begin to change. Not just your romantic standards, but the emotional ones. You begin noticing things that you used to normalize, right? The inconsistency, the emotional immaturity, that one sided energy, the constant negativity, the lack of accountability, and those superficial conversations that doesn't no longer serve you. Things that once felt tolerable suddenly feel extremely draining. And it's not because you think you're quote unquote better than anyone, but it's because your nervous system is becoming more sensitive to what disrupts your peace. And that is very important, because the thing about healing is that it tends to recalibrate your tolerance. Okay? And sometimes that recalibration creates distance between you and the people you genuinely care about. Not everyone evolves at the same pace. That's something to remember. Not everybody wants self-awareness. Not everybody wants accountability. Not everyone is interested in the emotional depth. Some people feel safe. They're safest while they're distracted. Okay? And when you begin becoming more introspective, more intentional, more emotionally conscious, what happens is that you may notice certain relationships no longer resonate the same way. That's the realization that hurts us sometimes. Okay? Because there's a grief. There's a particular grief in outgrowing the dynamics that once comforted you. Especially when, there's still love there. People tend to assume that relationships only become painful when there's hatred involved. Is that truly, is that the truth? Because sometimes relationships become painful simply because alignment no longer exists, and you grieve that. And that can create the loneliness that you feel. Because now what's happening to you is you're becoming more emotional about the two realities that you're caught in between. You can't fully return to who you used to be, but then on the other hand, you haven't fully arrived into who you're becoming. And that middle space is where you get isolated and the loneliness starts to creep in. Healing also feels lonely because you stop escaping yourself. And that's a shift that's, not many people can handle. A lot of people don't realize how much of a modern life is built around distraction. The constant stimulation, the constant noise, the scrolling on social media, the constant consumption of data. Anything to avoid being still. Because stillness forces confrontation. Right? Confrontation with what? Confrontation with your thoughts. Confrontation with your emotions. Those unresolved wounds. Those unmet needs and the fears and the grief. Right? And when healing begins, you start becoming more honest with yourself. You start sitting with the emotions instead of immediately numbing them, which we tend to do. And that can feel profoundly uncomfortable at first because now there's nowhere for you to hide. You begin to recognize patterns that you once ignored. You begin noticing where you abandoned yourself. You begin to feel the emotions that you've previously suppressed. And while that awareness is necessary, it can also feel emotionally isolating. Okay? And that's for everyone. Especially when people around you are like still deeply identified with avoidance. Because suddenly what's happening is you're trying to have deeper conversations with them while everyone else just wants surface level distractions, right? They want to talk about, the latest song that came out. They want to talk about the latest outfit, the latest trend, just surface level materialistic things that doesn't really serve your soul purpose. And you're trying to process emotions while everyone else around you is just bypassing them. And you're trying to understand yourself while everyone else keeps performing, right? And that is the disconnect that creates loneliness too. Not superiority, just the disconnect. Okay? Healing tends to force identity shifts, and identity shifts are emotionally destabilizing sometimes. Because for one, you start questioning things that you once accepted automatically, right? Now, you're questioning your patterns, your beliefs, your relationships, the coping mechanisms, your emotional habits, your highs and lows, the roles that you've played your entire life. And honestly, that can feel disorienting at first, especially if you spent years shaping yourself around survival. You've been living in survival mode. When you've been shaping yourself around being liked, being needed, being accepted, chosen, being validated. Am I the only one who can attest to that? I've been through that, and I still go through some of these things because healing is a journey. When your healing begins, you start to peel those layers back, like I said previously, in an onion, like an onion, right? And sometimes you tend to realize, hey, I don't actually know who I am underneath all of these layers. That realization can feel, terrifying at first, because now you're meeting yourself without all the familiar masks that you were wearing. The performance is gone. No more people pleasing. No more constant distraction. And in those moments, loneliness tends to appear because your old identity is now dissolving. And I know some of you who are listening to this right now are going through that exact thing right now, right? But just remember that your authentic self is still someone who is emerging. It's almost like emotional reconstruction, renovation, right? And reconstruction is a messy process before it becomes beautiful. It's very messy. And that's some of the things that, modern spiritualists don't cover a lot. They want to show you all the beautiful things about it, but there's a messy part of it, okay, that you have to go through in order to get to the beautiful part. A lot of people quit their healing journey in this phase, the reconstruction phase, because the discomfort convinces them that something is wrong. But discomfort does not always mean that there's destruction. I'm going to say that again. Discomfort does not mean destruction. Sometimes discomfort means expansion. Sometimes your spirit is simply adjusting to a more honest existence. And this part can hurt a lot, okay? Because During your healing journey, it can reveal which relationships were connected to the real you and which ones were connected to your coping mechanisms. Some people were, comfortable with you only when you stayed quiet. You shut your mouth. You overextended yourself. You locked the boundaries. Boundaries were just no boundaries. You tolerated all the disrespect. You minimized your needs, or you remained emotionally available no matter how drained you were feeling. And once you begin changing those patterns, then now the dynamic begins to shift. Sometimes people become uncomfortable when you stop self-sacrificing. Not because you become cruel, but because your healing disrupted their access to the version of you that required less accountability. Right? That's a realization that can be very heartbreaking. And I know some of you who are listening right now have been through that. It's heartbreaking. Let's be honest. And now you're heartbroken and you're grieving, and you're not just grieving the relationship per se, but you're grieving the illusion that was attached to it. The illusion that the connection was unconditional. And again, this is where healing becomes lonely. Growth, when you're growing as an individual, it often tends to reduce the amount of spaces where you can abandon yourself just to maintain a connection with someone or something. And that's the paradox. You lose unhealthy connection while simultaneously gaining the self-respect. And sometimes self-respect feels lonely before it feels empowering. That's just a natural feeling, when you're going through that transition. Healing also requires emotional honesty. Emotional honesty. And with emotional honesty, what it does is it separates you from a lot of societal conditioning. Because society rewards performance more than authenticity. Am I lying? Think about it. Society rewards performance more than authenticity. It's more about being popular rather than being your true self. People pleasing the crowd. People are often more comfortable with curated emotions than the real vulnerability. So when you start becoming deeply honest with yourself, what you may notice is that fewer people truly understand the depth of your inner experience. And that's where the isolating feeling comes in. Especially if you're someone who thinks deeply and feels deeply. That's me. That's how I am. When it comes to small talk, I get emotionally drained. But engaging in deeper conversations, meaningful conversations, then I get very excited and I get filled with energy. And that's the contrast. Because healing isn't just about thinking positive. It's when you confront the reality compassionately. And reality can be painful sometimes, because healing asks you to acknowledge certain things. It asks you, where is it that you were hurt? Or where did you hurt others? Where is it that fear, which is a very low vibration, where does fear control you? Where do you still have shame? Where are your wounds that influence your decisions on a day-to-day basis? That level of introspection is very uncommon. It's not impossible, but it's uncommon. And when you become deeply introspective in a world that's addicted to avoidance, loneliness can emerge naturally. But if we're being honest, that loneliness is usually very temporary, because eventually what happens is the healing also attracts more aligned connections with other people. You have more authentic conversations that you actually want to have or care about, more reciprocal relationships where the energy is equally exchanged, more emotionally aware people and intelligent people, emotionally intelligent people, people that don't take everything you say personally or, ready to get upset, or be a rival about. But first, there's usually a season of solitude that comes with that, a season where your inner world is, reorganizing itself. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions people have is assuming that loneliness means that they're failing, and that's where depression can creep in. But I'm here to tell you today, loneliness during healing is often evidence that your inner world is changing faster than your external environment. Let me say that again. Loneliness during healing is often evidence that your inner world is changing faster than your external environment. And that's all. You are no longer emotionally nourished by the same things, and that's okay. And while that transition feels uncomfortable, it's necessary, very necessary, because the growth that you're looking for, the growth that you deeply yearn for, it demands that space. Life can create solitude, so your identity can begin to stabilize without constant external influence. And that's something that's very important and very much necessary. Not all loneliness is punishment. Some loneliness is like a cocoon, incubation, preparation for something beautiful to emerge, right? Some loneliness, exists because your spirit is trying to hear itself clearly again. And honestly, healing, requires periods of separation. Sometimes you have to isolate yourself. You got to separate yourself from the noise, from the confusion, from all the emotional chaos that's going on inside of you, from unhealthy attachment patterns. Not forever, but long enough to reconnect with yourself. The problem is people often interpret temporary solitude as permanent abandonment, and that's not true. Those two are not the same thing. You are not abandoned because your life became quieter. Okay? You are not unworthy because certain relationships fell away. Okay? No, you're not failing because healing feels uncomfortable. Transformation is something that naturally disrupts your familiarity, what the things that made you feel comfortable and stagnant. That's all part of the process. Eventually, healing teaches you something very profound. It teaches you your relationship with yourself determines the emotional quality of your solitude. If you dislike yourself internally, silence will feel unbearable. And I'm just speaking the truth right now. And it's like a two-edged sword that's very sharp. but it's the honest truth. It feels unbearable if you don't like yourself. You don't like to be alone. You don't like to be by yourself. You're scared of yourself. You don't like yourself. But it's when you begin building genuine connection with you, with yourself, solitude transform from just solitude to something restorative, instead of punishing you. It feels refreshing. And to begin to enjoy your own thoughts more. You begin to, trust your intuition more. You begin to feel emotionally safer with yourself. And that changes everything for you. It changes your life because now your peace no longer depends entirely on external presence. You stop needing the constant distraction to feel okay, right? You stop fearing your own inner world. Okay? And that's one of the most liberating forms of healing that there is. Not becoming emotionally attached, but becoming emotionally rooted within yourself. Rooted enough that loneliness is no longer terrifying to you. Because what happens is you've learned how to accompany yourself, right? Through all the difficult seasons of your life, right? Without abandoning yourself internally. And that's where you gain your power from. That's when you become a powerful being. So if healing feels lonely right now, okay, to you who's listening, I want you to understand something carefully. I want you to understand that loneliness does not necessarily mean you are losing your life. It could actually mean that you are finding your life. Okay? You may be shedding relationships left and right, people just dropping like flies, friendships, habits, identities, and all the distractions that once kept you emotionally disconnected from yourself. And yes, that process can feel painful. I know, firsthand. Okay? It's a very painful process. But pain and transformation often coexist temporarily. Right? Healing is not just about becoming lighter, it's about becoming realer. And reality requires honesty. It requires discernment. It requires having healthy boundaries, introspection, and change. All things that can feel isolating before they feel freeing, right? And then eventually you start to recognize the difference between loneliness and then alignment. You realize that some solitude was necessary and some endings were necessary, right? Some distance was necessary, not to punish you, but to return you to yourself. And one day you look back and this lonely season, is going to look different. Not as the season where everything fell apart, but as the season where you finally stopped abandoning yourself and, just to avoid being alone. Okay? Don't be scared of being alone, because that's where the real healing begins. So that's where I want to conclude today, guys. And, just sit with it, meditate upon it, go within yourself, identify it, and just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of change. Change is temporary, and it's also the catalyst to the new you, the rebirth. Okay? So that's it for today, guys. And before I go, I want to say I would like to ask for your help with the podcast. Just, just by liking and subscribing on whatever platform that you're listening on. Leave a comment, share. These little gestures help the podcast grow, and I would appreciate it so, so much. It helps us to spread the awareness and reach the people who really needs to hear it. So, thank you so, so much for your support and love. And I appreciate each and every one of you for listening. And I'll talk to you in the next episode. So stay safe, stay positive, stay healthy. I love you, and namaste. Ciao.
I'm going within today. You're in my mind, I'ma be okay. A little love goes a long way. So I'm going within today. I'm going within today. You're in my mind.